two things that we can just worry about. And if we do these two things at a high level, we'll be good. Execute and play with maximum effort. If we do those two things, I have no doubt what'll happen in the game.
All right, Jarian Jones, show's over. That's the only two things the Jaguars got to do, right, Kyle? Execute, play with maximum effort, no questions. Done. We can wrap it up.
I mean, he makes two good points. That's how it seemed like they played last week. Execute, maximum effort. What more do you need?
Hey, welcome here into Teal, the show. They definitely played with the maximum effort last week. It'd be nice to see if they could get a repeat effort like that this week, but they do have to go into Arizona to take care of business. Big game for the Jaguars this week. Look, you get a win like you got last week off the Charger. People are riding high. Jaguars are reinvigorated. The Jags wagon is back full, but now you got to figure out a way to copy and paste a week later so the Jaguars can try and get another big win.
Hey, you said it, just like you said, the response to the collapse against Houston, now they have to respond to basically the new standard that they set. And Liam Cohen says that they owe it to each other to continue to prepare and then execute just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, like we talked about, there's a stand, we set, you ultimately in a season, right, there's highs and lows, but when you play like as we played on Sunday, there's, a new standard now in terms of, okay, well, that's what it looks like when we prepare the way we did and got ourselves in the mindset mentality to go play that way, and performed, obviously, cleaner, right? It was obviously, the physicality and all that I really appreciated and we want every week, but it was just cleaner in a lot of ways in all three phases. And so that is the standard, and we all kind of owe it to each other in that room to uphold that standard moving forward in terms of the way that we go about our business, prepare, and ultimately play. So that's the thing about coaching and playing in the National Football League with long seasons, is the teams that can maintain that sustained success and consistency throughout a number of weeks and give yourself a chance.
Look, it's the new standard. This is what the Jaguars have to try and figure out how to reach and play at each week. You saw it against the Chargers. Now, can you copy, paste, duplicate, set that new standard, that new bar, that new expectation, not just for this next game, but for forever? I mean, for the franchise, the expectation is that. That's the expectation from here on out. That's the tough thing, is trying to duplicate that each week, Kyle.
Well, basically, the last time they were kind of able to do it, maybe because they were upset, they were angry about how they did it. So now you don't have that anger. So you have to dig a little deeper and find out what it really is that you're trying to compete for. And it could just be to dominate the opponent, but it is the NFL. Each week's a little different, so we might just have to wait and see a little bit.
Yeah, look, you do. You have to wait and see a little bit. The Chargers are a really good football team that have gotten some really quality wins, so to see the Jaguars go out there, play angry, play like they wanted to make a statement, make a point. Now, can you do that again when you're riding high coming off a win? I mean, this is kind of what we talked about a week ago. I mean, this team, I feel like when everybody doubts them, plays their best football. Now, when everybody's on the Jag wagon, sometimes you get that little letdown. You get a flat tire along the way. But right now, everybody's riding high and rolling, thinking, hey, they're going to roll on right on past those Arizona Cardinals. But last week, everybody wasn't quite as confident. I know I wasn't as confident, and they go out there and they show everybody this is what we can do. So now it's not about being the hunter; it's about being the hunted. What can you do when you got a target on your back?
Yeah, and we'll get to our predictions a little later, but that's why this game does get me a little nervous, just because, like you said, now everyone's on the Jag wagon. They think, oh, this is how they're going to play. This is a game they should win. It's on the road. Arizona, it might not be the best team right now, but they got some dudes, and we know one of those dudes fairly well. Yeah,
look, the return of the mayor of Jacksonville, Calais Campbell. He's hanging out over there in Arizona with the Cardinals. I mean, it's a guy that some of the Jaguars players still know pretty well, including Josh Hines-Allen. I know Jaguars fans definitely will recognize the mayor of Jacksonville. Hopefully he doesn't get too many sacks, but Calais Campbell's still playing at a high level. He's a guy that can definitely still wreck a game plan.
Yeah, we talked to Josh Hines-Allen in the locker room, and he, I guess he's excited to see him, but he's not that excited to be playing against him.
Calais was a big influence in my career, coming in as a rookie and being with a guy that's been playing at a high level for so long, and I wants to give the knowledge off, and somebody that, is myself that wanted to receive it. It was awesome to be a part of, and I'm very thankful for him, but being on the opposite side of him and playing against him, I don't like it. I don't like it. Keep it at that.
You didn't like it. Look, the Jaguars have had a chance for 2 straight off seasons to bring the mayor back, and they haven't done it. So, look, I don't like it either. But
I've been rooting for it.
We talked about it at the trade deadline. It's like an option to give the Jaguars a little bit of boost. It's all good. Look, you on that side, stay on that side, I guess. But look, here's what it is. Josh will be happy to see Calais after the game, especially if the Jaguars get a win. So. That's what it is. Look, the mayor's playing at a high level. He's still getting it done for the Cardinals, but he is kind of one of the few players that's making a ton of splash plays for them there in Arizona. And look, at this point, his career maybe is going full circle. He's back to where it began, so he came to Jacksonville after Arizona, so maybe next year.
Hey, I'd like to see it. But you did say one thing. Josh will be happy to see him after a win. That'll be a big part of it. And we're actually going to talk about maybe how the Jaguars get a win coming up right after this quick break.
I love my Jacksonville Jaguars. I've been a fan since 1995, since they came. Lincoln, he is doing an excellent job as coaches. We're now 6-4. Duel. This your boy Mike Larry, a.k.a. Mike. I love my Duval. I love my Jaguars.
All right, shout out to Mike for giving us a call on the Duval dial-up. Hey, remember, we want to hear from you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, everywhere in between about the Jags. You might hear yourself right here on Channel 4.
Dial it up.
Dial it up. Give us a call on the Duval dial-up. We'll pop the number up on your screen for you to be able to give us a call, 904-391-3661. You might hear yourself. Hey, we want to know. Call us after the Cardinals game. Let us know how you feel. You might hear yourself on Monday's episode of Teal the Show. Look, so that brings us to the Cardinals game. So I am a little bit of a sports superstitionist, Kyle, so I don't know where I should go with this thing. Last week, I picked the Jaguars to get blown out. The score was pretty close, just flipped.
It was.
The score was pretty close, just flipped. So I don't know, I don't know if I should pick against the Jags this week to keep the thing rolling,
Well, see, I'm not going to lie. I am also very superstitious when it comes to sports. I would normally always pick against the Jaguars, but this year, I picked them and they've won, so I think I'm just going to keep going with that. I will say, though, this game does make me a little nervous for a couple reasons. This game?
Okay.
The Arizona game makes me just a little bit nervous. One, you got Jacoby Brissett, okay? He's played a little bit, but he is a backup quarterback. We know for some reason the Jaguars have struggled against backup quarterbacks. He's also, last week he broke the completion record, 47 to 57.
Yeah, but they still lost by like 20.
I know, but that doesn't mean that Jacksonville's just going to cakewalk through it.
Okay.
For some reason, it tells me that it's going to be a close game. Jacksonville just seems to struggle with quarterbacks who can just kind of just go with the system, dice them up down the field, complete passes here, complete passes there, and the next thing you know, they're in the end zone, and it's like, how did that happen? So I will say that I'm picking Jacksonville.
Okay.
I'm going with the Jags. All right, I think it's a close, I'm going to go 28-20, maybe
right,
31-20, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think the team does respond. They found out a better way to prepare and practice to kind of get the execution that they want. But I don't think it's as easy as everyone might think it's going to be.
The Cardinals are struggling, man. The Cardinals are struggling.
That's true. You're not wrong about that.
Up and down. The Cardinals are struggling. I mean, you want to talk about a bad quarterback situation. Kyler Murray hasn't been it after being the #1 overall pick. You're turning to Jacoby Brissett, who's yes, he's been around the league for a while. He completed a bunch of passes last week. They still lost by 20. Look, this is a struggling team. They're going to be without Marvin Harrison Jr., who is your young, up-and-coming, big physical wide receiver. Look, they do have Trey McBride. So I'll give you, tight ends and the Jaguars have normally not messed real well. But they did do pretty good against Gaston last week again with the Chargers, who's been tearing up a lot of teams. I'm rolling with the Jags. I'm thinking 28-17. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I think this is one where the Jaguars keep this thing rolling. But I do think it comes back to what we kind of talked about earlier. The Jaguars are now not the hunter, they're the hunted. And especially in this game where the Cardinals are kind of a struggling football team and the Jaguars control their own destiny the rest of the way. Whether they want to win the division, whether they want to make the playoffs, whatever that is, they literally can control it. So you have a target on your back when you're sitting like that. So I'm picking the Jags 28-17, but this is an opportunity where they have to show everybody that they know how to not just be the hunter, but be the hunted.
You better not jinx them, Jamal.
I know. That's why I asked. You could have told me. You didn't tell me to pick them to lose. If you'd have said, Jamal, pick them to lose because you got to keep the superstition stuff going, I'd have picked them to lose.
But you picked them to win this year, and they have won. So, you know, we have some fun here on Teal the Show. I'm not going to hold it against you. But I will say,
everybody can hold it against me on Monday if they blow it. I'll take that one.
But hey, maybe we have another Victory Monday. I will say I've liked the Victory Mondays we've had so far.
Hey, look, another one would definitely be nice to put in the pocket, and then we can start really looking toward, okay, hey, look, postseason's not just a dream at that point. Now it's becoming closer and closer to a reality, and that also makes those Colts games, that means those are going to be big games, which means those will be fun games. All right, we appreciate you spending some of your Friday night here with us on Teal the Show. We'll be back here Monday, win, lose, or draw, so come hang out with us for another night of Teal the Show. Good night, everybody, and go Jags.